name is Vicky Mellon. I'm Associate Head in the School of Engineering and Built Environment, and I look after teaching and learning. So I'm just going to do a little sort of 5-10 minutes about how I used EWB Reimagined Degree Map to help me through the revalidation and kind of preparing staff for change. So first of all, as Andy will have alluded, there are a number of contextual drivers of why we had to revalidate and refresh our courses. The biggest one was that the university told us to revalidate and refresh your courses. You know, we had to move to a different structure, to a structure of 40-20, so 40 credit modules and 20 credit modules. But also there was a number of metrics that were a little bit worrying for the school. So we had a high number of low first-time pass rates, particularly in level 4 and 5, and we had a high number of withdrawals as well, particularly at level 4. So students just were dropping out and not moving forward. So we wanted to treat the revalidation as an opportunity to make some changes in the degree programme, which we could address those problems. So we wanted a better student experience, and it was an opportunity to align towards Sheffield Hallam's strategy, which, as my colleagues will know, is knowledge applied. So it should be something that we would be able to do. So a couple of things that we did. Like I said, we've moved to a 40-20 model. So 40 credits, 20 credits in semesterization. We've reduced the number of exams. So I think prior to the revalidation, we had around 6 exams for an undergraduate student, and they were taking them generally at the end of the year and some in January. We mandated that that could no longer happen, and students would only have 1 exam per semester per level. So students only have 2 exams each year now. So they should have 1 in January and 1 in May time. So with that, we needed to start to encourage staff to move to a more innovative, diverse assessment strategy across the school. And what was interesting about that was that we know that's what students were telling us what they wanted, to be involved in multidisciplinary projects, working on real-life case studies. And also we know that the industry were also saying to us, for our industry advisory board, we're also saying we want students to be ready to work on projects and to work in multidisciplinary projects and have good communication and good teamwork and just be ready for industry in that sense. So, you know, these things were aligning of like, we really need to make this change and this is the right type of change. And then someone it was honestly about 2 weeks after the revalidation, gave me the Reimagined Degree Map. Would have been really helpful to have it on day one, but that's not life, is it? So Pete came and gave it to me. And then that's when I started to use it in the staff development to support that change. And I used this infographic a lot. So this one was from the Reimagined Degree Map, and it really depicts kind of what engineering degrees may currently look like and where we need to go. So moving from remembering to much more evaluating, asking students to be more critical so they are better equipped to solve complicated societal problems that engineers can absolutely contribute to. So that was a really useful graphic that I still use quite a lot. How did I use it? Like I said, I used it in the staff development programme. So I ran a number of green days or kind of staff workshops around inclusive assessment, module writing, assessment design, EDI. I also had a lot of guest speakers coming in from different institutions. So Mike Bramall, for example, Yarka Glassy. So all these people who were real advocates of project-based learning and how that could work at Sheffield Hallam University. And I also started having conversations with EWB, so with Tom and Emma. I was just kind of replied to the little email, you know, when it says just get in touch. So I said, oh, I'll just email them. And they were great at, yeah, let's have a meeting. And then they offered to do they facilitated a workshop. We talked through how I could be using the degree map and where it would unlock some challenges. And what I really liked about the degree map was that it uses good, appropriate pedagogy for HE. So it understands, the challenges of HE. It talks about things like Bloom's taxonomy, which I think was really important. So to understand the students, how students learn. It was very pragmatic. It would have kind of worksheets and information, that would say things like, what content have you got that you can reuse? So I really liked it was pragmatic in that sense as well. And it also accepted there was a huge amount of challenges for staff to make these changes, but there were some significant gains to be made by doing that. And, challenges such as AHEP 4, it can be quite ambiguous, but, so let's read into that potentially that's giving us a lot of opportunity to make some good changes. So here are some examples of different types of assessments that we're now doing in the school. I did a really it's not a very good infographic, but it kind of indicates what I think where we are in the school. So we have some excellent modules that are doing some really innovative assessments that are contextualized in the real world, problem-based learning, project-based learning. We have a number of modules that are making changes, but they're pragmatic, they're reusing what they've got, but they're kind of on a journey. And we still have some modules that, ultimately they've just put the content into the module, new assessment, but same. So it's a journey that we're on. So we're trying to move the school down there. But that's all right. I'm comfortable with this at the moment. It's only been 1 year and it's kind of where we are. So different types of assessments. You may have heard Jonathan talking about his reverse PBL module. We've also had module leaders doing things like infographics. So that was previously an exam. So they asked the students to create an infographic poster. And we had another one where at level 5 was previously an exam on heat transfer, but the module leader has made it into a problem, and the students now do a mini viva stroke presentation around that as well. So what we're getting now is a much more diverse assessment strategy. I don't want everyone to be doing the same project-based learning, but having something that's diverse will be more inclusive and will really equip the students nicely for when they go out there. So we're kind of moving towards that green end. Just some key points about the degree map. I found it has really supported the move towards an inclusive curriculum. We have a lot of students at Sheffield Hallam with learning contracts, mental health problems, really widening participation, and some of the challenges that's come with that. Half of them commute. So we really need to make sure our curriculum is inclusive. And it really supports with that, and it aligns with what industry are asking us to do. So it's not outrageous, really. It's coming together nicely. It's not a linear process. I would have liked the revalidation maybe to go day 1, open up the map and be like, right, I'm going to work through that, but that's not really what happens. I just pick out what I need when, look through it, and I'll continue to do that because module leaders, subject groups are in different places. Some are more innovative than others, so I will use it in that way. So it's kind of up and down. It's not like a straightforward linear process. Where we've got project-based learning, so for the engineering design challenge, with some good engagement and a very good module mark. But I think going forward, I'll be looking at how we can use it more. How can I evaluate the use of the Reimagined Degree Map? Perhaps working with our associate head around sustainability, because there's some excellent kind of stuff around sustainability there, and ensuring we're getting more design challenges and things like that.